So let me see, you're second year students, is that right? Does that mean anything? I'm just second year as well. So you've been doing, this year is your beginning of your choreographic process, or have you been doing choreography already? You have done so. Does it fill you with dread?
Sometimes.
It's difficult. Choreography is a hard thing to do. But you can kind of crack it open. So let's just make a little bit more space. So we'll start with standing parallel in what we call open parallel position. So the legs basically get width apart, and just bring your body onto the vertical axis. And as we stand, ever so slightly, soften the back of your knee. You want to feel that when you're standing, if you had to, you could push your knee a little bit further back. So you want to stand, it's what I call standing down rather than standing up. And then just allow the arms to hang from the shoulder and look straight ahead. So to see whether you can kind of get that sense of the center of the head over the center of your pelvis, and get a sense of your vertebrae. The whole vertebral column hanging from the base of your skull, hanging down the back. So your tail is hanging down between your sit bones of the pelvis, pointing down to the point between the floor, on the floor between your feet. And just let's get this sense of standing. And what's the main signal here? We've got the verticality, we have the balancing of the body. If you shut your eyes, perhaps you can sense more clearly the micro movements which go into making up the balancing position, the constant minute adjustments that are going on. And perhaps you can also sense more clearly any surface tension in the big surface muscles. Just let them go. And perhaps the first thing you notice about standing for any length of time is the sense of compression through the feet. The feet dropping down into the floor. We have that sense almost of the foot absorbing down into the floor as if you're standing in mud. So you're standing into the floor rather than onto it. That feeling of connection now. And then the breath. The inflow, the outflow of the breath. Slowing the breath down, deepening it. As you're breathing in and out, you can sense the movement of the rib cage, which is the largest and heaviest structure in the body. It moves up and down, sitting on the lungs. Good. Then open your eyes. Let's just get the hands going. So bring the hands forward. So like a paintbrush here with the hand here. And back. Breathing in. Breathing out. So let the breath move you rather than the other way around. Now, as you're breathing in, you'll feel that slight lifting up. As the breath lifts the ribs, there's a lifting up, the elevation, and the breathing out is down. Sink, sink, down. Breathing in up, and breathing out, down. Turn the hands so the palms are facing forward. Okay, so that's a very small change from there to there. And as you stand, lightly stretch the hand, make the hand wide, and just open space between the fingers so you kind of expose the webbing of the fingers, as it were. And just let the arms hang down, shoulders relax. Just stand like this. So you can kind of sense for yourself what this position feels like, and if you look around the room, you can see what it looks like. So this position clearly has a different kind of impulse to it than if you stand like this. Okay, simple, but what does this tell us? This gives us something else. I don't know what the meaning is. I'm not going to say it means any one particular thing, but in terms of doing it, it means something else. What have you done here? What's happened here? What's the difference? Okay, this is a question. Anyone tell me, what's the difference? What's your difference? What's your difference? What's your name?
Cash.
Cash. Hi there, Cash. What's the difference?
I don't know, I feel like it's more tension.
Tension.
More tension. Holding my arms up more so.
Okay.
There. Yeah.
Okay.
Just more strenuous to turn them out rather than being
Okay. Right. So you have a tension here that you noticed. Okay. What do you feel? Okay, don't tell me what you feel, tell me what you see. Like
Mannequins.
like mannequins, okay. And what gives you that description?
Oh, it's really still not solid.
Okay, the stillness.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got tension, we've got stillness. Let's just take the hands a little bit further out here. Just below shoulder level. And let the elbows, so the elbows is pointing down, as if you're kind of holding that weight. Now, bend the knees a little bit more. Reach out through your fingertips. So get a light stretch into your fingers, and just take your attention to your fingertips there. So again, this is not a common shape. It's an easy shape, it's not common. Bring your hands up. And stretch open the back of your knees. Push up into the heel of your hand. Lift your toes. Squeeze your belly button in. Deep breathing. And just relax in all the joints and just slowly let the shape melt back. Relax the body. Just shake the body. So all the joints kind of shaking up and down. Try to make the movement as much as possible symmetrical. So one of the features of the human body is that the left side and the right side are the same thing. Like mirror images facing each other. So the body in its design is symmetric, but in its use is fundamentally asymmetric. When we do something, we tend to be asymmetric in what we do. So let's just shake a bit harder and get the joints nice and soft. See whether you can get a sense of almost shaking your internal organs, your intestine, your lungs, your heart, your stomach, let all the wobbly bits wobble. There you go. Now, as we do this, start the breath with the diaphragm, like a trampoline movement. Get some breath going. Good. Now, what's the matter?
No, I just had food before.
You just had food, okay. Okay, shake the food. Okay, now just shake the hands this way. Let's just let the stomach rest for a moment. Just get the hand shaking that way. Back, down, out, and let the hand shake in front of your knee. Here, come on, shake. Look straight ahead, down on the floor in front of your feet. Just look straight and just keep the movement going. Good. And shake your hands together. Shake your hands over your head. Over here. Okay, and stop. Come up. And stand. Stand with your eyes shut. Can you still sense the reverberation going on inside your body from doing those movements? There's a kind of a buzzing, a heating. You've certainly shifted the temperature up. Your nervous system is a little bit more activated now. And open your eyes. So what happened there? We stimulated our internal soft tissue, our nervous system. We've got everything going, and we've also reinforced a very important little principle, is that the body behaves or can behave symmetrically. It doesn't happen very often, but it's an important thing to notice, because in your movement you will find that one side of the body or the other side will be slightly out of balance. So coming into balance with the body is an important thing to do. This movement here, we just basically stayed in the same place. The arm didn't change internally, it just changed location. And every time we went to a different place, it started to mean something else. It was a different signal that which we had here, and we kind of came through here. And what did we do? We mapped this circle. Here's the circle. This point here, if you just bring your hands right up here, this is the top of what's called your kinesphere. Are you familiar with kinesphere as an idea? Yeah? The kinesphere is basically, you consider the body being on the inside, constantly at the center of the circle. This is the top of the kinesphere. This is the pole star, if you like, the North Pole up here. And then if we were to sort of like come down the sideline here, keeping the arm dividing the front and back body here. So this is our lateral line, east and west, and then we bring it down to south, down here. So this mapping of the body here, we have this circle. And then we can go from one pole to the other. Just bring the hands down. So here we just have now a very complete kind of gesture. There you go. So fill it with breath. Breathing in. Breathing out now. Reach the fingers out. That's good. And down. Hold your hands in front. Press out. Yeah. And scoot back behind you. Reach back as far as you can and squeeze between your shoulder blades. Look straight ahead and open your chest, open the shoulders. That's it, good. Bring your feet into parallel there, that's it, good. Good. Now, just keep that shape and just move. Rotation. Keep the fingertips reaching towards each other at the back. And as you turn, look over your shoulder so you get a 360-degree vision of the studio. Let your eyes travel around the horizon, so you're not nodding your head up and down, but just let the head go completely round with the movement. Good. So keep stretching back with your fingers towards each other. You're opening up your heart and your lungs at the front. Good. Come back to the front. Stop. Now, open the hands, and again, try and squeeze backwards and up. That's it, yes. Yeah, good, go on. So the hand is behind you. There you go. And now, let's just take the opposite of that shape. So that opposite of that shape would be probably folding in. So fold down, roll down, and just hang over from your pelvis. Just keep the knees bent, let the head drop, and just do a little pulse through the spine, just pulsing your ribs and spine. Swinging down and just getting that nice kind of bouncing quality through the spine, from the hips. That's it. I'm just going to come and give you a little push. So you put the head, that's it. Keep back the head, neck open up. Good. That's it. Good. Oh, nice juicy spines. So a word which is a really nice word to use, which you're looking for, is to supple. To feel that suppling through the tissue of the body, through the whole body. And in particular here, you can feel that length of your back, from the tail to your skull. And now, roll up the spine, stacking up the vertebrae, one on top of the other. As you come back up, then the head is the last thing up. Bring your eyes to the horizon and just let everything settle onto the vertebra again. Again, stand just for a moment with your eyes shut and take a rain check on how you're feeling. What is the landscape inside your body? What does it feel like? How's it changed from the beginning of the class to now? There's a sense of pulsing, there's a sense of probably your internal temperature has risen up. So as a result of that, you'll feel literally more electromagnetic energy in your body. So that slight sense of tingling, that slight sense of stimulation, which you're perhaps feeling, I'm sure most of you are, is actually an electromagnetic charge that's now passing and pulsing around your body. It's tingling. And as you stand, see whether you can just visualize yourself as a three-dimensional silhouette. try and get a sense of the shape of the edges of your body. Here we are, we're standing, you sort of almost like see yourself from the front, and then try and see yourself in profile, left and right. And then kind of almost step behind yourself and look at the back of your body. And then from above, look down. From the crown of your head, look down. See the shape of the body from there. And then the most difficult one is to look up from your feet. Look up, try and see the body there. Good. And open your eyes. So how is it that we know, how can we see our shape when we're standing? Do you know about proprioceptive nerves? You know proprioceptive nerve? Mm-hmm. The proprioceptive nerve endings are these little nerve endings in the soft tissue of the body, joints and in the connective tissue everywhere else, which give you that sense of shape. So if you shut your eyes and put your hand on your nose, you can do that because of your proprioceptive nerves. If I bring my hands together, shut your eyes and clap your hands in front of you. To the left, to the right. Good. And open your eyes. Okay, that's your proprioceptive nerves. So it's a really important tool to understand proprioception. Just rub the wrists. So rubbing is a way of actually stimulating the proprioceptive nerves. And so come up to the elbow, and then to the shoulder, the armpit, and then the other hand. Rubbing the pulses here, coming up to the elbow, shoulder, armpit, so scratching yourself. Now, ribs, top of the chest, bang it, snap it, down the back of the pelvis here, come down the legs, down the ankles, come up the inside of the legs, come up here, shake hands, I'll get that. Hands like that, little. It sounds good. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Good. Hey. You're on to something. Okay, lower yourself down there. This is what we're going to do. You know that? You really tell everything. It's a famous piece of classical music, but let's see if we can just get that. We'll move on to something more on the floor. So this is going from here, go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So the hand, let's say the left hand is going to be hit by the right hand. The right hand is now going to touch here, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Good. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Good. Yeah. If you make the hands further out, the distance here will give you the timing. Okay, so you the further out you go, the more time you've got. If you're two here, it gets a bit difficult. But if you're hanging out here, so this hand comes in 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so then you make it lighter. It's almost like a little ricochet. Good. Yes. And then go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's fine. So just good. That's it. If you kind of slightly present the top of the chest and make it more round so it's like a drum. That's it. Good. There you go. All right. Okay. Just make a bit more space and we'll come down on the floor. Turn the hands and hollow out and press the back of the pelvis down towards the floor. Shoulders relaxed. There you go. So let the elbows kind of hang slightly out and down. Good. Keep the feet in contact with the floor. Now, find your balance point. Reach back. Keep reaching forward with your hands to counterbalance the body reaching back. Curve the spine. Stretching out your legs. Down to your back of your pelvis. Release the hands. There we go. There you go. Let's just try that again. Okay, this is good. Good exercise. Well done. So you want to use the limbs to counterbalance. The more you reach the limbs this way, the more you can counterbalance the weight of the body going back the other way. Okay? So if I do this in profile. So here it's quite stable, this position here. Here. Now, I'm just going to light stretch into the hands here, and at the same time I'm going to create an opening at the back here, which means I'm closing in the solar plexus here. I'm closing this point, just underneath your ribs here. Getting there, close, reach back. Now, I'm going to try to keep going, and I'm going to feel where my feet want to go and leave the floor. So that instinct to bring my foot off the floor is the body's intuitive instinct is to counterbalance through my lower limbs. There. Oh, it's a bit shaky here, but here, get further out, reach down. The more I reach out there, the more the whole thing is now balancing. And then at a certain point, you can really let the whole body relax, except for this point here. And then rest out. Okay, off we go. It's your body, it's your balance. Watch out for your head. Good. Look straight ahead. Look above your hand, just above your little finger. Look straight out. Because your eye beam is going to help you balance that. That's it. Yep, come. Come on. Press out with your hand, your legs. Press your legs out. Good. Keep that closing in there. That's it, come on. Keep space under your chin. Try not to compress your throat. Keep that. That's it, come on. Come on. Yeah, lovely. Look at this, look at this. We've got real good balance here. Away. Okay, that was such fun. I think you should all have a go. So, can I put your name?
Rosie.
Rosie, okay, Rosie, you're going to be my dummy here. Okay. I'm just going to go down here. Now, I'm just going to put my fingers underneath her heel here. Now, relax your shoulders. Now, I'm going to try and just give her a little bit of feedback. Let her shoulders go down. And keep your arms out, keep your arms out. So, and we want to keep that space in here. So she's not compressing there. She's working harder in there. There, stretch, open that. That's it. There you go. That's it. There you go. And here. Okay, just with a partner, just have a go at that. Whoever's next to you, grab them. You too. You too. You too. B, can you?
Very smart. Yeah.
There you go. Look.
Here we go.
So you're looking past your toes. Down. That's it.
Yes.
Good. That's it. Is it all right?
Clean up. Sing again. That was so fun. That was so fun.
There you go. So this is where the ball is. There you go.
I don't understand. I didn't do that.
Okay. Is everybody spun and spin?
Yeah.
Okay. So can we just run? So as he makes this movement here, he's tightening up here, and you all felt that back. This, if we were to unfortunately cut off his arms and legs, this would be his centre of his body. With arms and legs, his centre of body is down here. So this is the centre of the actual, what's called the axial skeleton. There. Now, as he tightens there, you probably felt this. If you just turn around. As he squeezes in here, he kind of created the conditions of actually opening this. You probably felt that as you were going back, that this area of your body, the lumbar square at the back here, was opening out, particularly the back of the pelvis, this whole kind of zone here. So you were actually quite capable of balancing on that surface. So in this position here, I'm kind of using this, but there's also in the front of the pelvis, between the two iliac bones here, there's a kind of a narrowing in above the pubic bone, below the belly button, this area here. If you pull that point in, you can almost feel the back of the pelvis widening around. This is a useful tool to have. It's a very useful piece of body mapping to know about, because at some point in your life, you will want to be able to relieve pain in your lower back. It'll happen sooner than you think. Let's just try that. If you could stand up and put your hand slightly bend in the knees, I'm just going to use the back of the hands, stroke down the spine till you get to the cracker just above your bum there, and then let the hand come down to the hip. Can you feel this knobbly bone on the side? That's called the trochanter, great trochanter. That's the top of your femur head. So the leg bone comes up and then it goes into your hip. So this is the great trochanter on the outside here. And that's the outside of your hip. So we're going from here and then opening down here. So what I'd like you to do is to feel that you can open out this area just by stroking it. You're kind of starting to kind of allow it to open a little bit more here. So you're dropping your tail. You're widening and lengthening the lower back. And as you do so, as most of you are doing here, you get this sinking. Can you feel that sinking down? The body instinctively follows the weight line down. We're pushing down, and you're coming down there. So you can just bring your legs into parallel a bit, or open parallel. That's it. Yeah. Good. And then yeah, so just drop down there. Good. Look straight ahead, so that you don't start to dip the body this way, but it's a straightening of the whole lower back. Here. That big curve. Breathe in, breathe out, down. Down. Now, at the end of the out breath here, just hold it so you'll feel that your hand is just underneath your sit bone. It's almost like you're sitting down onto the top of your hands here. Yeah? Can you feel that? Just get that feeling there. Now, in this position, you're looking straight ahead, chin slightly down into your chest. There you go. Right. Just take your attention to that point above the pubic bone between the two hip bones here. You can suddenly feel that lower part of the abdominal area is actually pulling in. You've all got it. That's it. That's it. Stay in that position, but just release the arms and let the hands float out. Wow. Yeah, this is one of those. I wonder who else is doing. Who else is doing this one? There you go. And then down. So in my training, we do a lot of this kind of work where we put the body under a sort of state of biodynamic tension and open and then release and try to instruct the body in effortless movement. So there, can you feel that? You kind of created that circle that we had earlier. Here, the hands came through here, and they're drawing this big circle. And you can do this in a way which is quite effortless. And there's no, one of the things you notice, there's no displacement going on in the rest of the body. The body is doing anything, it's just like, wow, it's just going. This is a great thing to do. It's very satisfying. It's very good for your nervous system. It's giving your nervous system the idea that it doesn't have to be under a state of complete tension and stimulation all the time. It can let go. When you're moving, you need to feel that your movement is energy efficient, which means that you do as little as possible. But what you do to the maximum. And if you become a professional dancer, if you see professional dancers, you're doing this like 10 hours a day, and you are working hard. So you really need to know, when you do something, you don't do as much as you can, you do as little as you can. But what you do completely defines the topography, the shape of the body. So you're not overly reaching yourself, you're getting that kind of quality. So where is that coming from? What happened there? When you let go here, what's this sensation? In this position here, just get a reading on this for a moment. You're putting the body under pressure. Your feet are pushing into the floor, which they do all the time, right? Your feet always do that. But your hands are doing the same thing, which you don't do. So as a quadruped, if we were four-legged, habitually, we would continuously have weight pressure through our hands as well as through our feet. So what we're doing here is we're actually kind of putting pressure through the upper body, and everything is compressing. And then when we release here, there's a decompression. And that decompression is characterized by a lightness. The whole thing just floats. And the body is now just following its own structure, its own kind of... There you go. Try with one hand the same thing. This time, just bring the right hand down, open the lower back, bring the hand down to that sit bone here. Now the sit bone is the lowest point of your torso, just there, that bit underneath your buttock there, that bony bit that you sit on, your sit bones. And now, release that, just let that one arm float, carry it round, and rest. And try the other side. Push down. Push in. Look straight ahead. Keep that vertical line through the body. Keep the pressure down into the floor through the feet. The head is balancing. Your mind is quiet. Breathe. Easy. Good. Release the hand. As little as possible. So earlier I said aesthetics. Suddenly you've made a judgment, you've made a qualitative judgment. So quality is an essential aspect of how you understand the concept of aesthetic. Quality. As for an artist, whatever your medium, the quality of the work is defined or is arrived at by the resistance of the medium to the artist. If you are a dancer, your medium is your own body. And the resistance is the resistance which the body has to a particular set of parameters, a particular set of questions, tasks, whatever. The main issue is how do you move effortlessly? How can you create that effortless quality? Why do you want to do that? Because actually it's better for your body. It allows the body cell to rejuvenate. So every time you're moving, you're creating the situation where your body can start to rejuvenate and charge up. You're switching it on. You're switching on parts of your body, locations, places which have perhaps got stuck down. We all of us have those places. For a lot of people these days, this area is quite stuck because they're stuck on computers or on phone. This area gets stuck. This is a majorly sticky kind of area here now. So as you come up, you want to just release that. You want to bring the body up, 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 up. Do you notice also when you do this how suddenly the nervous system starts to feel quieter? And I hope you can feel that because it certainly, we talked about that signal aspect. You can probably see each other in the circle as you're standing. As we do this work, there's a kind of an area of fullness and quietness in the movement. There's no anxiety in the movement. It's simple. It's very straightforward. Let's go back down to the floor. So, long sitting with the legs out in front. And just, we're going to walk on your sit bones. So if you could step back on your sit bones, drag the leg back. And as you do so, just let the other body kind of counterbalance. You'll get this kind of counter movement through here. That's it. So as you're moving back, you're almost dragging the leg back, keeping the back of the knee open. Now, going forward, you're going to push the leg forward from the sit bone, there, thrusting out through the midline of the leg. Keep the spine straight and use your limbs as well, your upper limbs here. It's almost like you're kind of walking with your hands. There you go. That's it, and back. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, on the sit bones, rock side to side. You lift one sit bone up and then come down. And absorb both hands down. And it's almost like doing a little press up down to the side of the body here. And up. Good. Okay, go down to the side. Hold it there, hold it. Lift the back leg. And step it back behind you. Reach it back. And push up and hold the shape. Keep the hip open. Reach with the arm. There you go. So you can find that effortless reaching, which we had earlier. There you go. Good. And release the leg. And go to the other side. Back down. Step back. Curve the leg. And up. Support on one arm here. Okay. Hip flexors. Hip flexors are opening. In particular, large hip flexor psoas muscle. And reaching overhead. And release. Excellent. Good. Okay. Just let's put a few hips here. So the body has this sternum, breastbone here. Can you come around this side? So sternum, the big breastbone, the ribs are attaching onto this. Here it is, and this is the top here. This point here is called the manubrium. So the sternum is shaped like a sword. And in fact, the Romans used to call this bone the gladioli because it's shaped like a gladiator's short stabbing sword. And the handle of the sword was called the manubrium. So this is the manubrium. That's why it's called that. Bit of history. Anatomy is amazing how much the names are because something looks like something else or because of its function somehow refers to, you know, the scapula is called that because it's like a frying pan. Nothing back here. And then around the back, can you just take this a minute? Susanna. Susanna has around the back, like the rest of you, she has a sacrum here. So the sacrum is got the two large bones of the pelvis around here, coming on to the sacrum here. It's about that kind of width there. And that's called the SI joint, sacroiliac joint. Now, so here we've got these two flat surfaces. If I just put you in profile here, we've got this surface here, we've got this surface here. Now, as she bends her knees slightly, this lower surface drops. There we go. Now, slightly lean forward onto my hand a little bit there, and sit back into my hand here. So equalize the pressure between those two. There you go. Come straighten up the legs. Straighten up to stand normally. Now, draw your abdominal muscles in. There you go. So now she's balancing these two surfaces and she's mediating that through this lower area here. So important to think about this SI joint. Thank you, Susanna. This SI joint, the connection that goes through the body here. Because when we breathe in and out, this is where the ribs travel up away from this point here. So if you were to sit here, if you just put one hand on your sacrum at the back here, and put the fingers of this hand on the sternum here. So you can feel now, breathing out, let the ribs come down. You can feel under your fingers, so you can feel it softening and coming in. And if you put the fingertips on, that's it, fingertips on more like that. That's it, yeah, so you can feel the longitudinal line of the bone. Okay, and now, so breathing out, this comes down. Now, as you breathe in, feel how this starts to rise up, and it's coming away from this point. This point is not moving, this is the anchor point here. And then down. Good. Now, as we come up here, and this starts to come up, this point, slightly with this hand at the back, slightly push it in, as if you're pushing your sacrum in towards the center of the pelvis here. And now, as you breathe out and push down here, push back with the sacrum at the back. So we're getting this pulsing through the body here. Good. Now, if we come back to this movement that we were doing here, and we're in this shape here, now, and breathing in, this is going to open, and you can feel at the back, without having to touch it, you can feel the sacrum is starting to push in, and then breathe it out, soften the breastbone, and allow the back of the pelvis just to kind of slightly push back. So you're narrowing at the front here, you get that scooping, hollowing feeling. Good, yes, there you go. So you can feel this all opening out back here, and now, from here, down below here, you start this movement up the spine from your tail, breathing in, bringing the tail in, and all the way through to this base of the throat, the manubrium point, open it, and going down. Good. Just open that a few times and then try to the other side. But just feel that connection, that deep, it's a diagonal axis through the body, from the front of the sacrum to the top of the manubrium. It's reaching forward like a 45-degree angle. That's it, good. And it's in there. That point there. Good. Change to the other side when you feel like you need a change. Okay. So here, that's it, good. So this goes in, and this starts to come up and out there. Now you soften this point here, bring this in, and open this here. There you go. And again, up, through there. Good. And open that here. Good. Open up her a little bit more there. Good. Yep. Good. And now soften this down. And this there. That's through there. Good, lovely. And soften it in. Up. Loose. Scoop hollow in here. Just pretty much when I started this. There you go, that's it, there you go. That's good. And now soften down, scoop and hollow in here. Good. Bring this leg back in. Push this hip forward. There you go. That's it. Can you feel that now? Yeah. Good. Now through that. That's it. Up and around. Oh, very good. Slightly bend that and take the pressure off you. That's it. Good. Now through there. Okay. You guys see crack the crab. Good. All right. So this when we breathe in and out, the rib cage hinges on the spine. You can just stand for Nobody's body very well. So her rib cage is suspended. If you stand in the back, the ribs come from here and they drop down. You can probably sort of see that line. You can certainly kind of feel it. It comes down, 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 down. So the ribs are dropping, and curving down, down here. Now, if she just comes and stands in profile here, they come, bring the arm up. So the ribs come down, 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 down. I can follow them down here, and around here, they change direction and they start to come up and attach to the sternum. Yeah? So this place where they hinge is called the facet joint, where the whole rib cage is hanging from and that's the thoracic area here. So when we're breathing in and out, the rib cage is hinging at the back there, and we get this expansion up, and then we get this softening down. Could you stand up and see whether we can just get the fingers on here, on the sternum here, and just press out in and down with the out breath. And really, just try and really act out the rib cage down. Get it down, good. And now, breathing in, let it float. Try and feel the lungs expanding. It's like inflating a balloon inside your ribs. And then breathing out. Now, as we make this, think about these 2 points here. And down. Good. There you go, back. But this kind of gesture, actually, you do find that a lot of dance techniques do tend to use this kind of shaping of the body here. Yeah, for example, that's what you're doing, And this is a pretty old kind of movement. You find this kind of movement in many different dance forms way back. So let's just take this further down, kind of coming in, up, and open. Open. Okay, make yourself space, yeah. Good. All right. Now, one of the nice things here is you can now jump. And you can feel how, when a movement goes, the whole body is going. There is a kind of concept that there's only one muscle in your body. It just happens to be divided into 363 different parts. Okay? But there's only one muscle. And a muscle is elastic. The soft tissue is plastic. Okay? That means that the soft tissue is what gives you and holds the shape of your body. The muscle is what gives the elasticity. A muscle, when you stretch it, will always recoil. That's what you want. What stops it from recoiling is the connective tissue surrounding it and investing it as well. As that starts to fill up with collagen and it starts to kind of take on a dominant shape, and that will kind of eliminate some of the elasticity of the muscle. So what we're looking for in our movement is to establish conditions where we can get the soft tissue working and we can allow the muscle, the one muscle, to recoil. So when we make a movement like this, which is essentially simply the whole body flexing, the whole body extending, it should give us enough power to jump. Okay? Every muscle in front of the midline here is a flexor. Their job is to flex the body, which means you're doing this. Flexion is carrying in towards the body center, here. Every muscle in front is flexing. All the muscles back here are extensing. When I work those muscles, they're extending. That's extension. So we've got flexion, extension, front of body, back of body, front of body, back of body. We're going down here, deep flexion, and then we're going to get the recoil up. We get flexion, extension, flexion, extension, and then we can let the whole body just get that kind of shape. Just see whether you can get enough spring there to allow yourself to change location from one place to another. Just try it. Get down and get the thing moving. Good. Don't force it, just let the whole thing become quite effortless in the same way as we had earlier. You want to look for the least amount of work to do to get the maximum effect. So we're going down. Correspond the breath, get the breath moving. Out breath down. In breath up. Out breath down. In breath up. Good. That's it. Push it up. Yeah. And get that sacrum moving at the back. Here. The feeling as you come up is that the sacrum is now going to slide and push you forward. So you get this from here, you're coming in, getting that shape there. Okay? Let's try and get that. 1 minute. Good. Let the arms go. Let the arms go. Just let go. Open. That's it. Good. Drop your hand. Drop your arms. Just throw it over. Let go. Come on. Throw it. Yes. Good. That's it. Good. Good. Yes. You're slightly hesitant about using your arms, which is interesting. Let the arms have the same kind of throw as you get with your legs. You've all got those springy legs. So let the arms come through here, open up here. This is the great taboo area of the human body. It's not the genitals, it's this area here. Most people spend most of their lives hiding or in some way concealing this part of their body. Or hiding it from them. The idea that we open it, we can stand and let this area be open, is actually quite threatening. It's a difficult thing to do. So try to kind of just get this access to this area here and come through here. So you're ending up here, 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 here. So the whole body can spring. So just let's get that spring and recoil up and down, and then we'll have a short break. Let the hands go, let the weight go down. Flex, everything in front goes down. Everything in the back takes you up. That's it, good. Go down, let it go, come on, breathe. Come on, hey, spring, all your joints, come on, down in your joints, up and down, up and down. Yeah, good. Okay, on the spot, just jogging on the spot. Let the shoulders rise. Bring the knees up in front. Lean back between the shoulders. So let your arms hang down. Open your chest here. Spring through your feet. And head down. Kick your bum within the foot. Stop and stand. Shut your eyes. Just get a sense of the liveliness of your landscape on the inside of the body. You feel compression, shape, temperature, electromagnetic stimulation of the nerves, respiration, heartbeat, and feel the circulation pulsing through the body. And just also observe the mind itself in a state of acute observation and receptive awareness. Good. Slowly open your eyes and allow light come back into your body. Just maintain that sense of the senses internal and the senses external. So how do we know what's going on in the body? Through our senses. How do the senses work? The senses work through contrast. So we have to establish in our movement the conditions whereby we can sense the contrast in what's going on. And that's one way in which we can begin to really understand at a very deep level, without being too articulate about it, exactly what's going on. Okay, we'll take a 5-minute break, so if you want to have a pee and breathe.